if we know nothing else about Trump, he's transactional. So I don't care what happens. If you go to Mar-a-Lago or you have dinner with him, he's going to get something out of it. He's not the kind of man who just does things for giggles and laughs. And Bill Maher is not this. Bill Maher's position on woke is virtually the same line as Trump. I think he's been a vociferous opponent of woke. I can't even differentiate some of the things that the administration has said about the woke phenomenon, and he has. So I think they have a lot in common.
Bill Maher, I know, disagrees with a lot of what Donald Trump has said and done, and he's talked about that. He does agree with Donald Trump on the woke issue, and he said that woke was a good thing initially, taken way too far by the left wing of the Democratic Party.
Let's be clear.
So, but hold on. Let me just make my point. Why do you have to paint somebody as 100% wrong? You might agree with them on one thing or another. Why not say it? Because you have more credibility about the things you disagree with if you can say that.
Woke is not making Harriet Tubman and black heroes disappear from history.
You're right. You're right.
And I think he spearheaded that. It's really his position on woke. See, it's easy for a lot of Americans to not take this personally because it's not their history that is being dismantled. It is not their resume that is being questioned.
Okay, so Bill Maher going to meet with Trump probably makes him one of the most annoying comedians right now. And comedians are very, very annoying. Over something like the woke issue, which really doesn't, I guess it affects him, it affects his market. First of all, Corinne Steffens lied on a lot of people, but I think she was telling the truth about him when she says he just wanted to be with black women to talk down to them. A pale, arrogant white guy that wears shades all the time sounds about right.
Yes, Bima is suffering from high TDS, but he came out like, let me look into this properly. He took up a decision to visit the White House. If you've been following this channel, you realize I did a couple of videos about it. Libras are melting down on social media about this. Some are unsubscribing to his YouTube channel. They don't want to follow him again. That notwithstanding, Bima went to the White House and met with Trump. What he saw, he was shocked. Trump is not the Hitler they used to sing every single day. Trump is this, Trump is that. He was actually shocked to realize the man can laugh. And he dictated something during that visit.
As you know, 12 days ago, I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was. I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. Doesn't. My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. But, okay. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them.
Yes, this segment is being appreciated on social media to a level I have not seen. Maher did a good job. It was not an interview, well, just a visit at dinner. Like two people who don't agree on anything, sitting together, eating together. That was the most important thing I wanted to see. And I don't agree with this guy in a lot of things, but this was a great move. This is actually bringing the country together. Yeah, it's a great way to reunite people. Trump is the president through everyone, so you don't have a choice. If you don't like Trump, he's your president. Simple as that. And we now understand exactly that that is the case. So I don't get the point why people are mad like this.
Any of y'all just want any reason to hate President Trump, even if you don't have a valid reason. You're using stupid reasons such as, oh, what he doing now? He over there playing golf. Okay, and you ain't never seen a man play golf? That man can play golf. Thank God he in his right faculties in order to play golf. I know for the last 4 years you didn't see nothing like that. You didn't see nobody playing golf or doing anything. All you seen somebody doing was fumbling over their words and taking naps. Yeah, that part right there. So I know you don't know what presidential looks like, okay? But presidents, they do play golf. I mean, I remember Obama playing basketball. You might have not been old enough to remember that. Or maybe you just conveniently forgotten because it don't fit your narrative. Y'all getting on my nerve. That man can play golf. Some of you guys are just ignoramus. Yes, that's a word. Look it up. Sharpen your vocabulary for a change. Here come the racial slurs. The coon, the bed witch. There's always one ninja in the house. Shut up. You have a legitimate argument. You don't. Shut your mouth. What is wrong with y'all? My God. If he eating a steak, look at him over there eating a steak. Look at him over there sitting down. Look at him walking down the hall. He's living. Yeah, living. Something that you should be doing. But you can't live because they telling you to stay in a perpetual state of anger and victimhood and oppression. Fight the oligarchy. Fight the dictatorship. Really, you're fighting against the wind. Duh-duh. Go sit down and shut up. Let the man play golf. He's earned it.
Understand that people out there know, all Americans know, that for him this was a PR stunt, and in his view, you were a prop in that PR stunt.
All right, so I love Bill Maher. I've been watching the guy's show, religiously for the last 20, 30 years. But, the guy goes to visit Trump in the White House, comes back somewhat gushing about the guy. Let's just call it what it is. And what happened is he got played by a narcissist. This is what they do. They're very charming. They suck you in. And Bill might have, I don't think he's ever been to the White House. I think he had him sign something for him. I mean, he came out of this thing looking, I don't know, dare I say a little bit like a fanboy. Just very excited to be in that position and to talk to Donald Trump and kick it with him and Kid Rock. But, to rail against this guy and what he did on January 6th and what he did as an assault on our democracy and what he's done every day since he's been in power to completely turn the country upside down, with race relations during that whole situation, or, what he's doing with Russia, Putin, Ukraine. It's one thing to be critical of the guy, but then because you had a nice little chat and a dinner with him and he fed into your ego like narcissists do, he made you feel important, he turned on his little charm and charisma. I don't know, Bill. And then you get to go and report that back to your very liberal and independent audience. Feels a little bit like you got taken advantage of. And the guy who was on your show this week tried to call you out on that, and I think he did it about the nicest way possible, and it kind of triggered you.
Yes, this is a typical Libra who believes that they will stay throughout their life in that little ecosystem. They don't want to associate with people they disagree with. This guy is just an example, and it's insane to be living like this in 2025. Just imagine Trump, who ran against Biden, ran against Kamala. At a certain point, they sat together. They had to interact. Yeah, people that disagreed. So you realize at a certain point, we are always there to, to inherit enemies that don't even belong to us. What you're saying is crazy. If you don't like Trump, yeah, go with it. He's your president. Get used to. Simply, going to the White House should be something that people need to rethink, because this is just to set an example that you can't really inherit someone's enemy. Now people who usually, badmouth this guy. I don't agree with him on many things, yeah, but reacting to his videos like this is just amazing. I hate to see people just struggling to instigate the idea that Trump played him. Trump didn't play Bima.
Exactly what I saw. I did it to the best of my abilities.
Counterpoint?
I can be. Yes.
Counterpoint?
Yeah.
You know, Bill, I think you're right in saying that people have made too much of this, okay? It's not the Alta Summit. You're not Churchill. Kid Rock is not Stalin. Trump sure shit isn't FDR, okay? So, yes, I believe too much has been made about this, but I think you've fallen into the trap. I think that I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle. And what people are worried about is not your motivation. We believe you. We love you, Bill. Everybody loves Bill, right? So I'm not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? And if we can say that you went there in good faith, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't there in good faith. I mean, you sold him on the Iran deal and he took it in. I mean, give me a break, okay? So the idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have
my
to
whole life.
patronize me, dude.
Okay.
I don't know you. I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes
Not
from a place
everybody
of
has to
love.
like it.
All I'm
That's
saying
what we
is-
said. There are people who didn't want it to happen at all. You sound like one of them. It's
No,
okay.
no.
But did
I'm not mad at it.
did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody?
I talked to him. I've interviewed Trump. Here's the
That's not it. That's just not an interview. This was not an interview.
I agree with the principle of engagement. I'm just saying from
Yes, I can't lie you that I actually enjoy the way B replied to this guy. It's amazing. Yeah, this was not an interview. What B is struggling to do here, it is to tell Libras that you can still sit down with people you disagree with, because there has been a problem with Democrats. And thank you guys for sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. Please share the video. If you see any clip after this, know that it is for the YouTube algorithm.
Generally called insider trading, and that would
I know better than anybody. Forget about the economists who know better. Forget about people who know history. I alone can fix it.
Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And remember, the resistance is real. You're not alone.
Has anyone else noticed how women on the left are the most miserable group of people? So
Harris is not president. Trump is. And if you don't like him, folks,
starting on.
wish the
know,
Kamala
and a
Harris
lot of
was in the
people
White
who
House.
didn't
vote.
And finally, new rule to those on the right.
Isn't exactly getting the hero's welcome.
Fact that the Americans finally realized what the reality was.
This is a Fox News alert, a crushing blow for Democrats who had hoped against hope.
Brad Schimmel, that has included Elon Musk pouring tens of millions of dollars.
I think you saw a repudiation of the fact that.
Do you think the Republican takeaways tonight are going to emerge and right behind, I think, of a more elegant way?
you ever notice that the second America stopped